Michał Wojciechowski, a Polish journalist, writer, and human rights activist for the NGO World Solidarity, has a penchant for finding interesting stories in unlikely places. The author of a book called Free Tibet, Free China, Michał says that for the best stories, you need to be ready to step out of the comfort zone of your domestic backyard. In 2008, his human rights work took him to Georgia. The ex-Soviet country was then reeling from a shock Russian military invasion.
I came to Georgia because of the war. When Russia attacked on Georgia in the 8th of April 2008, it was the same day when the Beijing Olympic started. And I was shocked with Russian brutality. They destroyed private houses, they steal toilets from bathrooms, and they were still hijacking people in the night.
A few years later, Michał met the Dalai Lama while the Tibetan leader in exile was on a state visit to Poland, and a new adventure was in the works.
Just after coming from Georgia and making humanitarian help in Georgia and also making a report for European Parliament, I met His Holiness Dalai Lama in Polish Parliament, and I asked him maybe it's a good idea to go to Tibetan camps in India and to make a report how Tibetans are living on refugee camps in India. And he said, "You're very much welcome, please come." That's why I went to India.
But while documenting the Tibetan refugee camps in and around Dharamsala, India, Michał ran across an unusual, and to him, a fascinating story.
So during my work for Tibetans in Tibetan camps, I met this fascinating story about the Chinese colonel who first was member of the Chinese Communist occupied forces in Tibet in late 50s. And then when he realized what Chinese are doing for Tibetans, he switched sides, he joined Tibetans, he was fighting as a Tibetan ally, and he was protecting Dalai Lama to escape to India. And then he went with Dalai Lama to India and with Tibetans. He stayed there, he learned Tibetan, he had a Tibetan wife, and then he died there.
Michał adds that what's particularly inspiring for him is the example of a Chinese senior military official breaking with the communist regime to follow his own conscience.
So in Dharamsala, I met an author of the book about the Chinese colonel. And I was really thrilled because just from the beginning I knew it's a great story. He made a book in Chinese, in classic old-fashioned Chinese, and in Tibetan about the Chinese colonel.
Michał is now working on a television documentary on the colonel. A screenplay adaptation of the story is also in the works. In fact, Michał finds the story so compelling, he hopes to turn the colonel's story into a feature film. Adventure, of course. And while there's always a gripping drama on the horizon, drawing Michał to yet another part of the globe, he hopes the Chinese colonel will be coming soon to a theater near you.